love poop machines as much as I do?
Ever walk into your bathroom, flush the toilet, and realize something was not quite right? Maybe it keeps running, barely flushes, or there's water pooling where it shouldn't be. Suddenly, that quick bathroom trip turns into a mini plumbing mystery. Before you grab a plunger or start searching for DIY fixes, it's essential to know exactly what type of toilet problem you're dealing with and why it's happening in the first place. I'm Greg, and today I'm joined with Curtis, a career plumber at Mr. Rooter. So Curtis, what typically causes a running toilet and how do you fix it?
Well, a running toilet typically gets caused by a couple different things. The two main things I would suggest would be the flapper valve. Flapper valve is the valve found at the very bottom here of the toilet. And what that does is when you pull the handle, it causes it to pull up and let that water drain through. So chlorine, for example, in city water, age as well, can cause that rubber to deteriorate, warp, misshapen. So this thing does rely on a seal against a flat surface, so once it does start to deteriorate, you can get some leaking going through. Sometimes that's audible, sometimes that's not. When you're dealing with the other component inside the toilet, the main one, we're talking about the fill valve, which would be the tower in most of them. Sometimes there's a ball attached to it. Some of the newer styles, it's kind of all contained. With those devices there, as washers start to wear out, stuff like that, you start to get the water level. That's what controls the water level. So with that device starting to wear out, the water level is going to start rising. It's going to potentially go over top of the overflow tube that's right here in the middle of the tank that attaches to the flapper, and that's going to cause that continuous cycle of water kind of thing. So some of the symptoms that you might run into with those is for the flapper valve, you might hear that toilet kind of try and fill itself up every once in a while on its own. You might also hear an audible ticking noise coming from the toilet as that water is dripping through, depending on how fast it is and the design of the toilet. The fill valve is going to almost sound like the toilet's never shut itself off from the filling cycle. So those would tend to be the two main symptoms that you would find from either the flapper valve giving you issues or the fill valve.
Cool. So why do toilets leak between the tank and bowl? How do you diagnose that?
So that one tends to be a pretty easy one. Of course, it's relying on it being a two-piece toilet versus a one-piece toilet. One-piece toilet wouldn't have this gasket that would give you that issue. For a two-piece toilet, you have that gasket right there, which is at the top end. So that guy there kind of clips to the bottom of the toilet and then seals between the tank and the bowl with the use of those toilet bolts that you're seeing right there, the tank to bowl bolts. So those having the washer on the inside would fit inside the tank. There's two holes on each side of the tank here, and then seal from the inside and get tightened down with those nuts on the bottom end.
Right on. Yeah. What does a loose or wobbly toilet indicate? Like, why does that happen?
Well, a loose and wobbly toilet, it tends to indicate a couple different issues potentially. I've seen that happen before with things like uneven tiles on floors causing some warpage over time of that toilet bowl and the flange. I've seen broken toilet flanges that can cause it. I've also seen just wax seals that were improperly installed or made of foam that just eventually dry out. So there's a lot of symptoms that can cause it. Generally speaking, with a toilet, you have the bolts that would go through here for the toilet tank. And then you would see that leaking occurring at the bottom end. So if you're looking for symptoms of it, you would only ever find that on the floor, not any higher than that point near the tank or anything like that.
Got it. So when is it appropriate to unblock a toilet with a plunger or an auger?
Well, as you can kind of see by the sideways position of this toilet bowl right here, you can see how the bowl shape kind of goes up and then back down again, and then very sharp 90-degree turn and then down. So this design right here is kind of how it traps water inside of it, gives you that bad smell, and is really the only spot where a plunger would be effective against a toilet. So unfortunately with a toilet, they're not glass, you can't see through them. It's a double-edged sword. It's nice that you can't, but unfortunately you can't really know where that blockage is in some cases. So only unless that blockage is in this area, and also only if it's a soft blockage like toilet paper, would you want to use a plunger at unblocking that.
So like if a kid's toy or something fell in there?
Yeah, unfortunately, that would actually cause havoc further down the line. So if you have, for example, sewer pipes, of course, that are leading behind this, that could potentially get caught up in a 45-degree bend or a Y bend inside of that piping system and block more than just the toilet in the process.
So super important to know if something fell in there, as opposed to just taking a plunger to it.
Exactly, and the reason why you would only want to use a plunger within the toilet bowl itself is because it does tend to have a wax seal underneath it. That plunging action creates a lot of positive air pressure inside of the plumbing system, and being wax, it can just blow apart and all that water ending up on the ground.
So, Curtis, if you plunge the toilet and then noticed it leaking.
Mm-hmm.
How quickly should you take care of that leak? Like what problems could arise from it?
So it can be something that can be detrimental to a house, really. In most cases, we do have basement applications where you'd have cement underneath it. For the most part, you're going to find a toilet sitting on wooden floors. When you're sitting on a wooden floor, you're susceptible to mold, you're susceptible to rot, and even something like a small leak coming from that base or a small drip on the ceiling below it can amount to quite a lot of damage and quite a lot of need to remove some subfloor in the area. When you need to remove the subfloor, you need to remove the floor itself, the finished floor, and God, who knows how far that'll go. So when you're dealing with a leak on a toilet, either from the tank or the bowl, it's important to get to it as soon as possible because they tend to be, unlike other fixtures, areas where you cannot contain that leak. Even for a short period of time, it's going to leak and it's going to damage everything on its way.
So a small leak could turn into a huge problem.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Curtis, that was great information. Really appreciate you joining me. If you found this video helpful, please give us a like and subscribe. You can also visit us at mrreuter.ca/Ottawa or give us a call to book your service today. And just remember, a flush beats a full house. Catch you on the next one.
Do we care that it's not a backsplash? Backsplash?
I don't know.
Backslash?
What the fuck is it?
It's just a slash.
Do we care if it's a backslash? Slash? Peter said backslash.
Keep it there then.
I was like, is it a backslash? I don't know.
Let's make it a little challenging to get there. If it's too easy, nobody's going to want to do it.
Okay.
It's like butt stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, so what's the name of our podcast? It's not Drippy Tips, despite everyone's wanted desires.
If it ain't written on there, it's hard for me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's weird, eh?
It is.
I could totally freestyle all day.
And I can totally just read off there all fucking day.
We all have our pros and cons.
Who's the problem?
The root of the problem?
So do you want me to redo the whole thing or just say, welcome to the root of the problem?
Welcome to the problem.
And then
Do this first and then be like, welcome to the root of the problem. I'm Greg.
you want me to reread this and then say, welcome to the root of the
We
problem?
have to redo the whole intro, so it's one cut.
All right. Ever walk into your you want to give me a 3, 2, 1?
God,
Like you're falling
Robert.
behind, Robert.
Fucking.
Ever walk into your bathroom, flush the toilet, and realize something was not quite right? Maybe it keeps running, barely flushes, or there's water pooling where it shouldn't be. Suddenly, that quick bathroom trip turns into a mini plumbing misery. Before you grab a plunger or start searching for DIY fixes, it's essential to know exactly what type of toilet problem you're dealing with and why it's happening in the first place. I'm Greg, and today I'm joined with Curtis. He's a seasoned plumber at Mr. Rooter.
Root of the problem.
And this is the root of the problem.
And this is the root of the problem.
We forgot to write it. He's like one of those fucking anchors on like he's fucking what's his name?
Hey, you forgot to write it in there.
He's
You're
Ron.
freestyle it.
He's Ron Burgundy.
I'm not freestyling it.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself, San Diego. You could write that in. He'll read it.
Yes, I would.
Yeah, he's Ron Burgundy, man.
Ever walk into your bathroom, flush the toilet, and realize something was not quite right? Maybe it keeps running, barely flushes, or there's water pooling where it shouldn't be. Suddenly, that quick bathroom trip turns into a mini plumbing misery. Before you grab a plunger or start searching for DIY fixes, it's essential to know exactly what type of toilet problem you're dealing with and why it's happening in the first place. This is the root of the problem. I'm Greg, and today I'm joined with Curtis, a seasoned plumber at Mr. Rooter.
One more time, just a little stutter in the middle.
Yeah, you can fix that up yourself.
Just edit it so I don't have to say anymore.
Ever walk into your bathroom, flush the toilet, and realize something was not quite right? Maybe it keeps running, barely flushes, or there's water pooling where it shouldn't be. Suddenly, that quick bathroom trip turns into a mini plumbing misery. Before you grab a plunger or start searching for DIY fixes, it's essential to know exactly what type of toilet you're dealing with and why it's happening in the first place. This is the root of the problem. I'm Greg. Today I'm joined with Curtis, a career plumber at Mr. Rooter.
Ready for another one? I lied. We're gonna go how to get rid of a toilet now.
I told you I can read the shit out of this if it's written down.